All right, something that has not been in the news hardly at all that I've seen. All right, I'm not omnipresent. I don't know. I haven't seen everything, but I've seen very little coverage of the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe protests that are being held as a result of the Dakota Access Pipeline. So the protests are there to halt construction of a $3.8 billion Dakota Access Pipeline and is slated to carry 500,000 barrels of Bakken crude from North Dakota to Illinois. Let me just give you an idea of how long that pipeline would be. And I'm bringing it up on your screen now behind me. And let me pull it up on the main screen here. For those of you who are, wrong button. For those of you who can't realize how long that is, just by knowing, just take a look at the graph from the northwest quadrant of North Dakota all the way down to Illinois, cutting through the Missouri River. It poses a great threat, a great environmental threat. So just outside of Fort Yates, North Dakota, the reason they're protesting is obvious. It should be obvious. But it threatens to contaminate the Missouri River, which provides water not only for thousands of residents on the reservation, but also for millions of people living downstream. So back in April, members of the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe launched an ongoing protest camp called Sacred Stone. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers approved the pipeline back in July, and at least 28 people have been arrested in attempts to use their bodies to block construction. They did make the protesters did make a call for all indigenous people, and they received notice from 85 tribal nations in 1 week, 1/6 of the tribal nations in the U.S. I want to play a video of some of the protests that have been going on, and I believe I have the video. It's a short clip, but I want you to take a listen in. This is some of the protesting. Okay. Actually, I think this may not be the video that I... So you can see the police presence as well as protesters, some who are standing in the way. I have some additional photos here that I want to share so you can get a better idea of what's happening there. And most amazingly is the fact that there is very little to any coverage of this, and it's been going on for a while. That's the thing that surprises me the most, is the length of time that this has been going on to little to no coverage. Here's some images here for you. You can see the indigenous nations rallying, and you can see the standoff between the police officers or the state troopers. I don't know if that's a sheriff's department there, standing and protecting the ongoing construction from people who would use their bodies to stop the construction. All right, so there's another action taking place, and I want to share this here. So there's an action taking place on this Wednesday, and this is at the Washington, D.C. U.S. court hearing. So they're asking underneath the hashtag #NoDAPL. They're asking for people to show up and support at the U.S. District Court in 333 Constitutional Avenue Constitutional Avenue Northwest in Washington, D.C. at 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time in D.C. I believe there's one more. Let's see what this is here. Okay. So it's interesting things that are going on around us that are getting little to no coverage. I'm going to get more information on it and circle back to you guys as it continues to go on. Lots of arrests that are happening, etc. But it's amazing. The first question that comes to mind is, I understand why this is important to the Sioux tribe, because this is going to affect them directly. But this is actually going to affect a lot of people directly. And so you would think that there would be more support and more coverage for something like this. But again, I would think wrong.